So RL, recently Beyonce Mart, she surprised customers with over $37,000 in gift cards just before the secret release of her album, and people are kind of thinking of a publicity stunt. What do you think? Was it a stunt? And would you agree that she has set the trend and raised the bar by releasing her album without promotion?
Well, first off, I think that only God and her will know if it was, or her reasoning behind, doing it. But I will say she touched quite a few people during the holiday season, so I think that that's the most important part. As far as she changed the game, yes and no, because she can go outside and water some flowers, and that's publicity and marketing for her. So she's so huge that she doesn't need the same type of marketing and promotion that a normal artist would need. So I think that really is a compliment to her achievements and where she is as an artist today. But she might have a lot of artists out here fooled thinking they can just drop some music and make the same impact. It's not going to happen.
Right. Yep, absolutely. I agree with that statement. Absolutely. Okay. Question number 2. George Zimmerman walked on a domestic violence case recently. No shock there. He was pointing the gun once again. What are your thoughts on the way that the judicial system has handled Zimmerman and his ongoing gun violence cases? Do you think they're letting him off easy?
To be honest, I look at it a little different. My mother always taught me that who you hang around and associate yourself with is who people will look at you to be. And, nothing against Rachel Gentile or anything like that. I'm sure she's a wonderful young lady. But coming off combative and coming off as though she's not articulate, I think it had a bearing on the verdict. I think that people looked at her and thought she was a mirror of Trayvon. And I'm sure she is a very insightful young lady, but the way she came off on the stand, after what I've seen, it came off as, kind of hood. So I think that should be a lesson to us all, that the people we're around might be our voice later. So we need to watch who we're around. As far as George Zimmerman and all those other things, I think it's showing that he's a cowboy, that he thought that, or that he's reckless. So I really believe that.
How did you feel about the verdict?
It hurt. It hurt a lot because it just showed me that they thought that a black man's life really wasn't worth a lot.
I would agree again. All right. Question number 3, the final question of the day, is about Phil Robertson, the guy from Duck Dynasty, that new reality show. There's been a petition going around to basically state he was suspended recently, and they said that he made anti-gay comments in recent interviews, and 250,000 plus people signed this petition. And there's also a Christian advocacy group demanding that Dynasty's network A&E reinstate Robertson. He was placed on an indefinite suspension after he expressed his views about homosexuality and race relations in GQ in the January issue. The organization is also asking that the network issue a formal apology to Robertson and his family and friends. And a spokesperson for Robertson simply says that while some of Phil's comments were unfiltered, they were coarse. It's his beliefs and that they're grounded in the teachings of the Bible. Well, what are your thoughts? Did you know that he made these comments? Do you know what they were?
Oh, exactly. Of course I do. I think that some of it was old-time ignorance. It's funny because I'll go home and I'll be around my parents, or I've been around grandparents or older, black folks, and they still think like they did back in the day. I'll go home sometimes and I'll be like, wait a minute, you're on this same stuff? And I've had to realize they haven't been places and experienced certain things that I have to enlighten me and give me different insight. I actually feel sorry for Mr. Robertson. I feel like, some of the things he said were insensitive, but I really think it was out of ignorance and not out of malice. Because if we really look at it, his adopted grandson is black. Do I think he's a racist? No. I think he was brought up in a certain time. And to be honest, I'll go to church Sunday and hear my pastor talk about homosexuality. Are there people picketing his church and not walking in front of him? No, I think that younger generations are more accepting and understanding of things that have changed and evolved but older people seem to be stuck in a time machine. You know, there's certain people that won't even use a computer, don't even email, don't even text. And I think this goes right into that same thing. I don't think it's an excuse. It's ignorance. I really don't think it's bigotry like that. I just think he's ignorant and doesn't know any better. So instead of us trying to cancel his show or go up against each other, this is a perfect time for us to use this as a discussion time. This is the perfect opportunity to enlighten him and help him grow. You do it by love, not hate. You know what I mean? I look at him almost as a kid. He's an old kid. I have a son. When my son messes up, believe me, I want to cancel his show too. You know what I mean? But in the reality of it all, when you love somebody and you really want to make a difference, making a difference isn't going to cancel the show, because he's still going to have his millions of dollars, and he'll still have a forum, and hate groups will pick up on that and take sides, and we'll create more hate and more ignorance out of the situation than by being understanding and compassionate and helping him understand where he was wrong and building love.
That's real rap. That is real, RL. I'm with you 100% on that. This has been another exciting segment of VIP Backstage Access with True Magazine here on the True Couch today, kicking it with RL.